Well, hey, everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast live edition. Um, we're coming to you from the studios east and middle, somewhere in the middle of the country. Um,
Middle North.
the frozen tundra.
Yeah, it is definitely frozen today. We're like at like -20 wind chill. It's not good.
Oh my God! Yeah, we were in the single digits earlier today, and I don't know where we are now, but at least it wasn't windy.
Yeah, I know
Last
it's
night
cold
was
when
windy when I took the dog out. It was 20 some degrees and took the dog out, and it was colder feeling to me doing that last night than taking out the dog this morning at 9 degrees with no
yeah.
wind.
My dog didn't even want to go outside this morning. I just let it out, and my boxer, who usually wants to be outside, at home when she wakes up, she stopped right at the door, and she's like, I don't know about it right now. I was like,
Let's
Too
rethink
cold for her.
this, right?
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's see how we doing. Getting a few people started. It's funny because it's on a different night completely, so we may not have a lot of live people. Sometimes it's like half of the
Yeah,
normal live. We'll see how it kind of all sorts out being on a different night and in a new year. And I haven't. This is the season opener of the show this year. So
oh, right on. Hell yeah.
yeah. So you're special multiplied by two.
I was gonna say I feel honored.
Yeah.
Sorry for the delay. It was mostly my fault. So
No worries, my brother. No worries. We've got some eyeballs coming on. I like it. Hey, what's up, Mike? I knew I could count on you for being the first and being here. Means the world to me, brother. Um, and it's Happy New Year. It's been a wild ride for the last month and a half, and uh, yeah. All right. If you're on, go ahead and share it out, get it out there. Let's get a few more people here. I know it's a different night. I know it's we've missed a couple based on a couple of things, and no fault of anybody's. It just is what it is. It is definitely dividing by zero, for sure. And thanks, Justin, for that. How you doing, brother? Um, what's up, Sean? Uh, you guys got a little cold down there, didn't it? In the 50s, maybe. Um, oh, my king, my king. What's up, Eric? Um, just living the dream here. I've got my king just said hey. My it's good to see you too, Justin. Good to see you. Well, actually, I don't get to see you. I just get to say hey. Um, but and I've got my good friend. He's to my right on my screen, and it's a beautiful thing.
It's always
Oh,
a
it
good day to
snowed
get.
in Pensacola Beach. Oh my god.
No way. That's
Oh, that's
insane.
crazy. Uh,
They had
yeah,
to shut
I
down the
used
whole.
to go down to the Pensacola area, um, and teach high school drumline and marching band. Um, love that area. Real good friend of mine used to teach at Escambia, and I would go down and do that, and watch the Jets, the Blue Angels, and
Oh hell yeah.
love that. But a beach at 28 and snowing. I mean, I guess it happens in Jersey and other places, but
Yeah, that's nuts.
nobody expects it on the Gulf of Mexico, right? It's just yeah. All right, let's get a couple more people on here, and then we'll get things kicked off and rocking for episode 701. Can't believe we're entering our 7th season as a podcast. It's been an amazing ride. Uh, the people I've gotten to meet and see along the way. It's been pretty amazing. And seeing people at shows. Dave, I need some Dave time. What's happening, buddy? Um, we need lunch or something soon. Or just a night out. I talked to Nike the other day, and he was going to be in town at some point in the future, but I couldn't remember. My brain only allows so much information in, and it's hit capacity. Um, yeah, so much handsome in one place.
Too much, I think, for this episode, man.
It I think we're gonna have to push it up.
Yeah.
How do we up this? This is like we're already at 11. One more
we'll
is
get
definitely one more than
we'll get
10.
Justin and Eric to join us. Then we can multiply it.
Oh,
That's a
there we
bunch of
go.
hands.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit that button and see what happens. See where we go. Hey, what's up, Jeep Life family? Welcome back for the start of season 7. This is episode 701 if you're keeping track at home, and I certainly am because I felt every single one of those episodes as we've come along. Welcome back to another episode of the Jeep Life podcast, where we talk trails, builds, stories, products, and everything in between. As we start our new season, we are working out a presenting sponsor right now. Our thanks to Armorlight for their continued support in the Jeep Life podcast. Maybe that support will continue. We're working on that. But if anybody else wants to jump in there and have their name read first here, reach out to me at info@jeeplifepodcast.com. We'll make something happen. For tonight's episode, we are sponsored by the New Jersey Jeep Invasion, hosted by Blinker Fluid Productions. We've got a deal with New Jersey Jeep Invasion to promote our show, promote their show for the next year. One of my favorite shows of the year. Oh, I love going to this show. It's the 13th annual New Jersey Jeep Invasion. This year, it's Friday, July 10th through the 12th. And it's going to be a good time. We're going to be hosting on the evening before everything kicks off. We're going to be hosting the first annual Jeep Life podcast meetup, and that will be in the Wildwood proper out at the vendors and public party. I'm your host, Jeep and Terry, and I hope everyone had the happiest of holidays and Happy New Year to you. It's season 7. Who knew we would make it this far? And here we go. We're jamming along. I am joined tonight by Steve Rogers. No, I mean Cole Rogers, my personal Captain America. Cole is the off-road market specialist and account manager for Tyri of the Americas, which is a real big way of saying Cole's the coolest dude in lighting. How the heck are you, man?
Good, Terry. How you been, man?
Man, it's good. I feel like it's been a really long time since we've gotten a hang
Too
out.
long. Too long. I'm overdue for a Terry hug by like months right now.
Yeah, it's time. I think with Tennessee was probably the last time we saw each other.
Are you kidding me, man? That is that long ago. It's literal months then. Yeah, I'm way overdue. No wonder I've been itching so bad. Yeah.
Somebody decided to do something else rather than go to SEMA, and I don't know who that would be. So tonight, Cole is going to be joining us as a co-host of sorts. We've got him for a little interview, coming back a little bit later, and but we got some updates. Some things have happened since the last time we we were on here. Everybody knows that my daughter's Jeep, um, it died. It died hard, and she blew an engine, um, and it was not good. And it was one of those things where, for the life of me, I it was like a kick in the face, and I if you haven't had a blown engine before, it's it's really help. It makes you feel helpless because there's a lot to go into doing that. It's not just something you can do in an afternoon, like change a tire. It's a little bit more um, involved than that. Um, and I I work at a shop, Dirt Life Fab and 4x4, and Quinn and the team there, as soon as um, that happened, they jumped in immediately and said, "Whatever we need to do, let's do it, and let's help your kid out." So we got it towed to the shop, um, pulled out engine the OE engine, got it out of there, and you could tell that something had gone through to the oil pan, and it was an outward dent, if you will, in the oil pan. That was clear, but we didn't know what had gone wrong. Um, and then we installed engine number one. I found a used one. Um, was told it ran. It looked better than the one we had. But as soon as we got it in, 28 hours later, it didn't run. It clanked and knocked and did all the stuff, and then we ended up finding metal in the oil pan. And so, scratch that. Roll the Jeep back off to the side of the cliff, and it just hangs out there for a few more weeks. So I try to find engines. Engines aren't easy to find. Even if they're
No, they
great
are.
engines, they're not easy to find.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, Cole, you blew an engine, right?
Yes, yes, I did. I was about to tell you. At least you have good people around you to help you put an engine in quick because my experience has not been the same. I drive that blue Tyri JL all around the country, and it's up there in miles. And about last winter, I went through my first set of camshafts in it and blew a head gasket all at one time, and ended up running all right for a little bit, and then right before EJS, I put all new lift kit in and everything, and I'm on my way back from Tyri, Stevens Point, up back to my house and up north, and it decides just to absolutely crap out on me.
Oh,
So great time before EJS, so I showed up. That's when I broke
oh,
Eric's
that's
Jeep
right.
because
That's
they
right.
got
I remember
owned.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't break my own. I had to break Eric's. I already went through mine. But no, so I got back, had a couple guys diagnose it. And they were going back and forth and stuff, throwing parts at it. It was still clanging and everything like that. And then finally, by this fall, around SEMA time, we kind of figured out that, like, hey, I think we need to just put a whole new motor in it. So, actually reached out to AMW, America's Most Wanted. We know they have all the pullouts and everything like that. I
Yeah, yeah.
tried to get Ken and Eric to squeeze the Hemi swap on the budget for the Jeep, but they weren't
Right.
budging it here. So, I think we're going to sell a couple more lights this next year, and we'll get there. But yeah, so I got a crate engine from them, or a takeout engine V6 from them, and yeah, I got Bluge up and going now again. So she's running better. It's little leaks from the install, but that's about it. Other than that, she's running good. So, but no, it's been literally almost a whole year. I mean, since I've wheeled with the Blue Jeep and everything like that. So, when you're out there this year, out in Moab and everything, and we're going a little crazy with the Blue Jeep, you know why? It's because we got some pent up
That's
frustration here to let out.
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, right. I got some haze I need to say to people. Hey, Kate. Hey, Sandra. Glenn, I am really excited about the meetup, and I know that you guys are going to be around. We're still looking for a sponsor for that. Kate, love me some Tyri lights. Me too. Um,
Hell yeah.
oh, and then Eric comes up with a you know what that's like. Matt, what's happening, my friend? Gotta love Tyree and Cole too. Dude, it's all
Hey
about
man.
the Cole love. Um, Yeah. Cole's a monster with blue Jeeps. Yes. 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 Sorry. So back to my story, and it we searched, and so the guy who had um, the engine before, he was really cool about it. He's like, man, I'll refund you the money, or if I find another engine for you, will that work? Absolutely. I Sure, but I would like to get a video or something of this engine running before
Okay.
beforehand. Um, so he finally reaches out and say, "Hey, I've got one. It runs. It's still in the Jeep. Do you want to come down and see it?" Yeah, he drove it around. Well, I didn't realize it at that night, but it had a pretty severe oil leak. No oil leak. Well, it did have an oil leak. We knew that already, but it had a severe coolant leak. So we pulled it into the shop. We put it in, and it was just spitting coolant, and it was just a leaky gasket of the timing cover. So we replaced that, and my kid has driven it back and forth to school a couple times, and it seems to be running. Knock on wood. Um, she's going to be very religious about the oil and make that commitment for that. Josh, yeah, it's good to be back for sure. I hate not being here, and I want to make sure that I stay consistent with everybody this year. Um, then Friday, I'm driving down to South Jersey, ooh, and my Jeep starts sounding like a flat tire just out of nowhere. And so I pull over, and it slows down as I'm slowing down. It's just a thump 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 kind of thing. And so I get out, all four tires have plenty of pressure. No lights on the dash popped up for that. Um and I'm like, what is going on? Crawl under, everything, seems the way it's always been. A Jeep, it's got some work that needs to be done on it, but everything
Still all
seemed exactly the same.
right.
And so I'm like, all right, let's try it again. So I did it. It sounded like a flat tire. I'm like, all right, I'm not taking this any further. Um, I got it towed. Thank goodness for AAA, because this would have been about $500 tow. It only ended up being about 200 from South Jersey up to my shop, and there it sat. And Quinn and the team again from Dirt Life were able to diagnose it pretty quick and figure out, blew my pinion. There's metal everywhere, and so we've got a plan that goes on the lift on Thursday. Got the parts ordered, so hopefully by our Snowmageddon this weekend I'll have it back. That's the goal. So that's been my tragedies. Um, oh, and it was about 18 degrees in South Jersey. It's never that cold in South Jersey, but yet that night it was unbelievably cold. So
Of course, yeah.
yeah, I almost threw it, you know, fire on it so I could, burn it down and stay warm and have the insurance happen.
There you go.
Yeah. Um, it it's so frustrating when we don't have our vehicles, and especially ones that we care so much about, right?
Hmm.
I mean, if this was, not to take anything away from, Honda Accord owners, but for me, if it was just a Honda Accord, all right, I'd just leave it on the side of the road and go buy another one for, $800. But no, hey Mike, how's it going? Um, okay, in South Jersey, it was Millsville, Mills something. I don't even know it was on Highway 55. If that tells you anything, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know Jersey. I've lived here for as long as I have, and I go to Wildwood every year. But I outside of Wildwood, I don't understand anything about Jersey. I don't know where anything is. I can take the highways to New York City, and you have to drive through Jersey to get there. But I don't know. Is that north? Is that south? Is that? Atlantic City area. I don't know. And it's an enigma. I know everything else about most every other state, but New Jersey, it's an enigma. You ever been to Jersey, Cole?
I have not. No, I missed out on the Jersey Show last year.
Yeah, where were
You're
you?
I had a family wedding going on, so I had a somewhat
Yeah,
valid excuse.
that's all
But
right.
yeah,
I got Nick and Eric. That's all that mattered to
yeah,
me.
you guys had a good time. That whole
Yeah,
East Coast just seems like a European thing to me, man. You guys are just all so close to each other and everything like that. You know,
it really is. I mean, you drive from one. Um, yeah, Millville. You can go 3 hours in one direction. You're in 3 to 4 different states. You know,
yeah,
it's
it takes like 4.5 to get out of my state, so it's all that's weird to me.
yeah,
Midwestern Flatlander here, so
yeah. I agree. Jersey is really just a pathway to the beach, and that's it, or to the city. You know. Um, no, but there's great people from Jersey, and I don't want to take away from the great people there, but man, I just don't get it. It even on my phone when I pull it up on a map, it just doesn't make sense to me. Um, oh well. All right. So that's my Jeep woes. That's the kind of thing, and is all this is just, it's the just eat empty every pocket part of Jeep. Um, and I made a payment on my parts for this coming repair, and I was like, didn't I just do this? I don't know. It's
it's
hurting.
never. Yeah,
It's hurting. All right. So, not that you can make this happen and go away for me, but how can you support the Jeep Life podcast? Um, Patreon is one way, and we have 3 levels of that. We got the sport edition that's $3 a month. You can spare $3 a month to help me pay for all the stuff that goes into making the Jeep Life podcast happen. Our Sahara edition, steps it right on up to $5 a month, and the Rubicon $10 a month. And to be honest with you, I just as much content as I can throw there. I need more. Don used to be really good about getting content for our Patreon members, but I'll try to do more. Another way to help: leave a review. Wherever you get your podcasts, go there and leave us a review. It truly helps us. Um, Send us an email if you've got a show topic or a guest that you want to do. Hey, throw us one, info@jeeplifepodcast.com. You have follow up to a show. You just want stickers, man, send me an email. I will send out stickers. Jason, I've got stickers coming to you. I just haven't had a chance. They're actually in an envelope ready to go. I just haven't put your address on it. But we'll make that happen. And the other way is coming here on our live show, being in the comment section, putting stuff there. It's great. I know it it's it's weird to give up an hour of your evening and just sit and listen to your podcast that you could listen to while you're driving down the road. But man, it means the world to us when you do, and it makes the show um, that much more interesting. And I truly appreciate it. Um, Based on, I put out a call for guests, and man, it has been great. People have recommended guests. People said, "Hey, I want to be a guest," um, and we, I think we can fill out this season quite nicely with having, every third or so show with a guest on, and that's great. But how did it happen? It happened because you guys responded, and you responded big, and I appreciate it. And one of the people that said, "Hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to jump on," is my good friend Cole. And we've been talking about this for a while. We want to do it at an exotic location like Moab or something. Maybe that's something we can do this year as well.
yeah, live
But
live.
we got it as exotic as you know our studios in our house, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Dave? Welcome to the show. That's all right. I don't care if you're late. Just be here. It means the world. So let's talk about your background and say hey to the people, tell everybody what you do, and talk about your background and how you ended up here.
Yeah, like you mentioned before, I work at Tyri as the off road market specialist. So I kind of do have a cool job. I kind of get to decide, what kind of direction we want to go in with the off road. Who to target. I'm kind of the boots on the ground guy as well, with all that. And I kind of got into all this. With a little nepotism and a little bit of background as well. But kind of going back, I've been a career mechanic my whole life. So I started out in kind of construction. Then I was a millwright for about 4 or 5 years. And then when I moved up north from Milwaukee, I got a job at a Ford dealership actually. And I've worked on cars my whole life and stuff like that. I've actually was kind of like a hot rod guy growing up. My dad did a lot of hot rods and stuff like that in Wisconsin. That's kind of big. The off-road scene is not super huge in Wisconsin, so I honestly, off-roading to me was kind of like going wheeling in the sticks and getting mud, going mudding and stuff like that. So it wasn't like kind of my cup of tea back in the day. But I moved up north, started working on stuff. I was the upfitter for the Ford dealership. So if you came in and needed anything from a plow to lift kits and stuff like that, I started doing, and I just kind of had that natural mechanical ability to kind of jump into that. So I was doing that for a while, and it was fun and everything like that, like working on cars, but it was always like somebody else's car. It wasn't I was never working on my stuff because you're exhausted working on everybody else's stuff after work and stuff like that. So my father-in-law actually is he's kind of the head sales guy at Tyri. He's kind of the one who started um, getting into the off-road market with Jeep and Mopar. He kind of got that account, and he was bothering me for years before that. He's like, come try being a sales guy for Tyri. Come be a sales guy. I'm like, I don't want to be a sales guy. That sounds super lame. Not anything I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as I moved up north, I got more inclined. I actually got an F-150, and before that, I have a '95 Bronco Centurion. It's kind of a cool. It's a four-door Bronco. So I started dabbling in the off-road stuff. Started getting the trucks a little bit more. Um, really started getting in trucks or off-roading when I Raptor swapped my F-150. And then I really started getting in, modding it and kind of figuring out, the off-road market and stuff like that. And that's kind of when I figured out, maybe I could go try out this, see what it's all about. So I kind of started doing the shows. We did a lot of trade shows. So it was me and Dave Halverson just doing a lot of trade shows. And from that kind of just evolved. And, we've built the business on to what it is now. As you know, about a year and a half ago, we got the amazing addition of Eric Ammerman onto our squad. So with his know-how in the off-road market, he's been really able to like point me because obviously I'm not, I'm going on my 5th year in the industry, so I'm not the most experienced, but having Eric's guidance there is really taking us to the next level. So yeah, now at Tyri, we it's me and Eric pretty much. We got a great support team at Tyri, but we're pretty much the boots on the ground guys, and we're at every show. We're the guys talking to everybody. We do a lot of account managing with both of us and a lot of the marketing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I do at Tyri. Like you said, I get a cool job. I get to drive around in the blue Jeep and go wheeling and kind of spread the word, spread the light, that kind of stuff. But it's been pretty good. It's a lot of change of pace for my Neanderthal just mechanic brain. I'm used to just working on cars and fixing stuff and everything like that. So kind of shifting into this, my hands are a little softer, but I think my brain's a little sharper. So I've really appreciated it. It's been a good ride.
That's great. I mean, as you're saying all this, I'm like, how's he done all this in his young life? You look 23, 24 years old. Um, you know,
I'm not in my 20s, so thank you for that. But I'm definitely not in my 20s.
yeah. Kate just throws on here. She needs Tyree to make some rock lights, chase bar, and interior stealth light bar.
So
Um,
yeah, that's something we're definitely looking into. We got the high powered big lights, and that's been a big demand from us. People recognize the quality of Tyree. They're always like, oh man, I want that rock light. I want you guys rock lights and stuff. So it's something we're definitely working on, Kate. So keep in touch with us this year because I think later in the year you're gonna be surprised.
Yeah, and she said something about interior light, and a lot of that has to do with exterior lights making a lot of noise. And I know your Hyperion series is the all the rage. Um, you know, do do they whistle like all the other lights that go down the
No,
road?
no. A lot of the reason that light bars whistle is because a lot of them are built with like extrusion, which is good for production. Basically, you get this big chunk of metal, then cut into pieces and make a light bar out of. So this extrusion actually has horizontal fins. And if you know anything about aerodynamics or even heat, and even having those horizontal fins, it causes a little bit of turbulence behind the light. That turbulence is what you're hearing, is that little whistle.
Right,
So
right.
the Hyperion light, actually got one right here I can show you. Just but
See, I love this when you bring the stuff to play. I love it.
I got this room's full of lights. So as you can see, the fins are going vertical.
Yeah,
That's not only good for heat, because heat travels upwards. We know that, but also it draws all the air inwards and brings it kind of through the fins. So no turbulence. We try making this as aerodynamic as possible. So no, you don't get that whistle at all up there.
perfect.
Yeah.
I I hate that. For some reason, my ears really, when I'm in somebody's Jeep and they've got a light bar, man, it just that's the frequency that hits.
Oh
Um,
yeah. If you can hear the note, it's annoying. Yeah.
yeah, it's I could never do it, and that's why well, it's one of the 86 reasons I would never put a bar above my windshield. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, so you talked about the toughness of Tyri lighting. We know that because it comes out of the um, commercial, you know, standpoint, right? It's in that industry, really.
Yeah, that's for people who don't know, Tyri actually, we've been around for over 30 years doing heavy machinery. So I'm talking like the heaviest machines on the planet, doing the dirtiest, grittiest, longest work you can possibly imagine out there, from mining to logging, to construction to material handling. So the reason Tyri lights are so tough is because that's the evolution we came up in, is this super tough, gritty market, So um, having that background actually caught the eye of Jeep and Mopar. We were at SEMA show. Our owner Ken Trzynski wanted to start going to the SEMA show, so we ended up going to the SEMA show. And Jeep actually approached us because they were having some issues in the industry with lights not even coming out of the box working, or they were warranting lights, and Jeep's pretty proud of their warranty, so they
Yeah,
wanted a
right.
product they could stand behind. Yeah. So in 2018, when the JL was released, and the JL and the JT program is when we came on as a Jeep Performance product. At first it was a Jeep light. It said Jeep on it. They still do for now. But now we're also in the JPP program, which is kind of a similar program, but we're also as the Tyri lights as well. But no, our lights are built to spec to, I mean, run in the mining industry. So they run, up to 18 hours a shift. So they're running the whole time. They're getting bashed around by rocks. They're going through different sediments. So like we have to worry about, even the color of the light, for eye fatigue and stuff like that. A lot of stuff that light companies in this market didn't really have to worry about, just because in this market it was more of a, does it look cool, and is it like bright when I need it to be bright, which in a lot of people's off-roading experience is very minimal. They don't use lights a lot, so
Right,
they
right.
kind of got away with having that flash factor in lighting for a while. But now that off-road is picking up and getting more serious and getting more a lot of people can get into off-road a lot easier. People are demanding a lot more quality from their product, and lighting is definitely one of those things that people are looking for quality. And so that's kind of how we got our foot in the door, in this industry, and why we're getting traction so well. So
Yeah, for real. I mean, if you've ever held a Tyree light or put one on your vehicle, you know that they're built for toughness. And what kind of warranty do those have?
lifetime, baby. Lifetime warranty. We stand behind our product. So anything, obviously, within reason. You can't shoot it with a gun or something like that, and then say, "Hey, I just got this bullet hole in my light. Can you warranty?" Nothing like that. But no, anything from our biggest warranty is lens melting. Our lights are so high powered that people actually, when they cake them with mud and forget to wipe them off, or when they accidentally turn them on with their cover on, which is the
Yeah.
biggest warranty we have. That's kind of our biggest warranties. So yeah, any water intrusion, any paint coming off the light, anything like that, we warranty it all. So we really
So
want
so
you to.
you, if I'm a moron and I run my 1010 um, on my A pillar and I leave the lens cap on and I melt the damn thing, you're
Terry,
telling me that you're going to
I would watch
warranty that?
I would watch the moron word, because we've warranted that exact situation. I don't know, maybe over 100 times since I've been at Tyree. So yeah, it happens more often than not. Also, I am one of those morons, because one of the very first Tyree lights I ever put on a vehicle was the blue Jeep, and I accidentally had the switch on, and I was putting on the passenger side, and all of a sudden I'm smelling plastic. I'm like, what's going on? And I see a beam of light just shining through. I'm like, oh crap! So that's when I learned about it. I learned it firsthand about it. So I don't ever judge people when they call us about it because I know what it's like. But it happens more often than not.
Hopefully, I won't ever have to call it. I it was
Yeah, now you better
I
not.
did a Halloween parade this year, and I always my pod lights get are skeletons. I put these plastic skeletons over my pod lights so they shine through. And the whole time, all I could think about was these lights are too bright for these skeletons. They're going
Yeah,
to
they might.
melt
Yeah,
through.
if you're not moving.
Yeah, so they made it through. Knock on wood, and I survived. But I can't believe that that's a warranty item. And
Yes.
I, all right, that alone that sells me, right? Eric did say you can buy full Tyri line at any Jeep dealer in the U.S., and that's part of the Jeep Performance parts. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yep. Jeep just launched the Jeep Performance parts last year. We had kind of a big kickoff thing with a bunch of dealers in Moab last year. So yeah, you can get a bunch of great brands on there, and Tyree's one of them. Bunch of great suspension brands. Kind of a lot of tops for your Jeeps. A lot of really quality brands hopped into the JPP program. So just ask your dealer about us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, one of the more important things is how can one company, and how can one company have so many handsome men working there? Um,
It's beginning to be a prerequisite at the Tyree. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. We got Eric, and all of a sudden people are just calling us handsome now. So I don't know what
yeah,
that's up. But
well, it's true. You're both good-looking people, and I'm jealous of that.
no,
Um,
what do you got to be jealous about? Look at you, man.
yeah, this troll that lives under the bridge.
Yeah,
Um,
right. Best hug giver I know. East side of the Mississippi, right there.
I can
There
definitely throw down a good hug, and I love a good hug. Um,
you go.
now, dollar for dollar, Tyree lights are not the least expensive on the market. And when you sometimes you pull up the website and you go, "Whew, that's a pricey light." But you also have lights that aren't pricey.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute. You get your 1010s, and they're not the cheapest light in the building. They're a great
Hmm.
light, and I rock them on the front of my Jeep, and I know that several people in that are listening right now do as well. But let's talk about the lights that aren't that.
Yeah. So, like you're talking about, the knee jerk reaction to like a quality product like ours is, it's an investment. It's the last light you'll ever buy, and that's kind of how we feel about it. But to kind of get people into Tyree, entry level per se, to kind of get them, hooked on us and get people who can't necessarily or don't necessarily want to spend, that next level of investment on their ride. We came out with the baseline series. So what's really cool about the baseline series is it's we call it an economically produced light, so it's a little easier for us to make. Therefore, we can pass it on to the customer. But it's still got all the specifications of all of our other lights. So these are all lifetime warranty lights. They're super high output. They just don't have a little bit of the serviceability as our other lights, but they're $99 MSRP light. We got two different chassis right now, or three or four actually. Two separate round ones and two separate square ones. And we got a bunch of different configurations of those. But yeah, it's a great way for people who don't necessarily do a lot of night wheeling, don't want to necessarily invest in, a huge light setup right away, or maybe they're just getting into their first off-road vehicle. And, you go crazy with a lot of things when you get a Jeep. I mean, it's easy
Yeah,
to
for
spend,
sure.
double your investment on the Jeep real quick. So we wanted to offer people, we didn't want to be out of reach for people or anything like that. We didn't want to seem like a company, out of touch with this market or anything like that. We're new to the market, but we also want to adapt. And this baseline was kind of our way of adapting a little bit to, the people who want to, kind of dip their toes into the light, not just get 100,000 lumens on their Jeep right away, which some of us maniacs don't need that on their Jeep as well, but we do anyways. So
I love it. But those are also made um, in the U.S.
yes, sir. All of our lights, all Tyree off-road lights, are made in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. It's where I was born and raised. I grew up there for 18 years. So
Oh, really? So your
Yep.
hometown, like Ma's cooking the lights in the kitchen and
Yep.
stirring them in the pot.
Yeah, I
I
actually
love.
wasn't even aware of Tyri when I lived in Stevens Point, just because, like I said, I wasn't, they didn't have an off road thing going on, and they weren't really in the automotive space. So to hear, when I heard about their lineage and their history, it was cool, just kind of having that pride from the hometown. So that's why I am very passionate about the product.
Oh, I love that. That hometown pride. That's pretty
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of hometown pride, I get to see your face every single day. Um, I'm scrolling through whatever social media crap that I happen to be scrolling through, and somebody mixes up some lemonade. Um, it's so brilliant, and I love how angry you are. And who came up with that? Who was that?
so so that the whole Luminade stuff was kind of a brainchild of a conglomerate we just made in Moab this year between myself, Scott Ammerman, and Eric Ammerman, the Ammerman brothers, and our friend Matt Corbin, who's a great photographer in the industry. We was kind of, we had a bunch of late nights at Moab this year. I don't think
Yeah,
we got back to our bed before 1, 2 o'clock this year, between breaking Jeeps and getting off the trail late. I mean, you were there too. It was
yeah.
insane. So, I think we were out one late breakfast, early lunch, whatever you call it, right when we woke up. And in our delirium, we were kind of just talking about a bunch of stuff. And Scott actually kind of coined the term luminade. So we kind of went with that. And obviously it's brilliant. For us, we pride ourselves in, having no water intrusion or anything like that. And we know that's one of the biggest problems with people, who buy some cheaper lights, or not even cheaper lights, just not, well built lights. So that's kind
Yeah.
of the biggest issue. So we wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. So we kind of did that. Yeah. But if you notice in the ad, I do a lot of throwing it. I mean, I did probably 3 or 4 times more throwing than that. I felt like my arm was going to fall off by the end of it. I was hugging it as hard as I could. So
For
we had fun
sure.
with that. Yeah.
I love that. And Scott, who's been on the show, is a good friend of us. That is exactly something he would come up with.
Yeah.
He is off the charts. I love that story. I love seeing it every day. It's great. So I guess that
Sure.
I'm the target audience for sure
Yeah.
for the
You're a
algorithm.
pinpoint. We got you geofence. We know where your address is. So.
I love it. All right, speaking of EJS, because for me, that's one of my favorite weeks of the year. You and I get good time together, and anything special planned this year? I know that you know Tyri and Oracle partnered together with a night ride, and what are you guys doing this year?
So yeah, this year we had so much fun last year doing the night ride and everything, and we kind of want to keep doing that again. We want to have a little bit more scheduled night rides, more than the unscheduled night rides that we had this year. So something that Eric and I have been talking about is getting a couple of those getting going on. A lot with our industry friends who all are good influencers for us. We're gonna have a nice little night ride, and then we're gonna try to leave one open to some people as well to maybe kind of come in and meet us out there and kind of see the power of Tyri while we're out there. We are going to be out there showing off. We'll have a little pop up area throughout the week too as well, so you guys can purchase some Tyri lights, of course, as well. But we're gonna just try being out there and show everybody, show them the light. It's hard to show people these lights at the shows or show them online. Really, the power of what we do and why we're so proud of what we do. So that's the perfect event for us to. Everybody's out there wheeling at night. Everybody wants to make the most of the whole week, so they're milking every last minute of it. So it's perfect for us to go out there, help with the rescue, show people why they need the Tyri lights. Show off all the models. I think this year we are going to try to have Eric's smuggle bus out there. I don't know if everybody saw that at SEMA, but we have a 70s, 73, 73 or 74, I forget, one of the two, Dodge van 4x4 conversion that has one of the baddest light setups of all times that our good buddy Nick Wimmy, Tyri, and Greg Henderson put together. So we're going to try to get that out there, do some wheeling with that. But yeah, no, we just want to have a good time with everybody. And, Moab is just such a special time for the industry and for everybody to get together. So we're just really, really pumped to just keep going and being part of it.
Yeah, I love it, and we always end up doing a tread lightly project or something while we're out there together. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I mean every name that you just rattled off, with the lemonade and then just the night ride. I know um, I kind of started that with Oracle and partnered with some great partners, and then last year with Tyri. And I think night rides are an incredible time because it's different than day. I mean, day you're in all about the scenery and everything, and then at night, it's just there's more camaraderie. And everybody's kind of showing off their lighting package on their vehicle, and or it's a good time. It really is.
Yeah. A lot of people say, nothing good happens after dark in a Jeep, but obviously I'm a little biased because I'm a little bit more equipped than the average person being in the Tyree family. But I think some of the best memories we've had in Moab are just, the night times. Either you're fixing something out there, when you break out there at nighttime, it's kind of like, all right, hey, we're broken out here. All right, let's
Yeah, yeah,
just, let's fit everything. So it's fun. I think some of the best times can be at night. I think I wish more people were excited about wheeling at night, and I hope we could show them that with some Tyree lights at Moab too.
yeah. I agree. Hey, before we go too much further, um, I know that Tyree and the Jeep Life podcast is partnered. People can get an actual discount on the TyreeOffroad.com. It's Jeep Life 15. It's a 15% discount. I'm pretty sure that code is still active. Eric, if it's not,
Absolutely.
make sure that it is. Um, but you can get your own Tyree lighting set up with a little help from your friends here at the Jeep Life podcast. And, I, I love my Tyree lights. I have Oracle lights on my Jeep, and I like those. I love those. But I think it's a different market for sure. And those my 1010s are they're just crazy.
They're our favorite light. That's we pride ourselves on price per lumen and size per lumen. I mean, as far as technology goes, you want the highest performing piece of technology in the smallest package. I mean, that's kind of
Right?
literally what technology is. So we pride ourselves on having such a powerful light in that 4-inch configuration. Something super exciting that I'm actually pretty stoked on announcing. I can talk about it now since we'll be releasing it here soon. You heard it here in the G podcast first, but Tyree will be having a new 1010 come out this year. We ended up figuring out a way to make our own printed circuit boards a little bit more juicier per se.
Mm.
So same amp draw, but we get about 20% more output with it. So our 1010s right now, they run about 4,600 lumens, effective lumens that is. That's real world working lumens. Now we're going to be running 6,000 lumens. So these things are going to be by far the brightest 4-inch light that you can buy on the planet. We're pretty stoked about that. So you'll be seeing a lot of that coming up here in the next month or two, and at the shows all next year and out at Moab. But yeah, we're about to have the brightest 4-inch light on the planet. So it's gonna be a pretty cool
That's
thing coming up
amazing. I
straight
can
out of
melt
Wisconsin.
more plastic.
Absolutely, yeah. We actually that's kind of the big holdup with the light is we've had to make our lenses a little bit more beefier too, just to withstand all the energy going through it. So it's
Yeah.
been a cool learning curve for us. But I
That's
say like us, I'm not one of the engineers. For the smarter guys, it's been a cool learning curve.
uh, well, you heard it here, folks. Get what you can with what you got, and then let's put some more lights in the future on your Jeeps. Cole, man, I can't. I, I love that you're here. We've been
Me
waiting
too.
for a while to do this.
Yeah.
Um, you're one of the best people in the industry. You're just genuine. What you see is what you get, and I love that about you. And you go out of your way to help anybody. And I just want to thank you for our friendship because I treasure it a lot.
Oh, Terry, right back at you, man. You're one of the most genuine people I've met in the industry, and I love every time I get to see you and give you a hug. You are by far my favorite person to hug on the planet right now. So just keep it up. Keep it up.
I love giving those hugs. I appreciate that. Um, we want to hear from you. Um, let's have more of the Coles in the world on the show. Um, if you've got somebody you want to have on the show, or you want a particular topic to be done, you know somebody that is a good storyteller, or just something new that we need to check out as a podcast. Um, info at jeeplifepodcast.com, and we'll take that information and we'll try to make season 7 amazing. Again, we're looking also for that presenting sponsorship, and maybe a monthly or quarterly um, spot. Info at jeeplifepodcast.com. uh, you know where to find us. Linktree at Jeep Life Podcast will get you where you need to be. Your Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube channel. But that's going to wrap it up for us. Our huge thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight. Thank you for supporting the Jeep Life community. Our huge thanks to Tyri Lights allowing Cole to spend some time with me, and you out in the listening world. You're just the best, Cole. Thanks for coming on.
You are too, Terry. Thank you for having me, man.
It's anytime. You are welcome anytime.
Hey, let me
Um,
know.
I know that we talked earlier about Blinker Fluid Productions and New Jersey Jeep Invasion. Everyone that commented in our comments right now has been entered in our drawing. Every month until May, we are giving away a 3-day pass to New Jersey Jeep Invasion, and our thanks to them for coming through for that. But if you send me an email, you review, you do any kind of tagging with us, I'll put you in that drawing. And we did it in December, and it was a huge hit. I can't wait to do November next episode. We will do a winner, and then February we'll do one, and March we'll do one, and April and May we'll do one. So our thanks to Jamie and Allison and those amazing people at Blinker Food Productions that do that put on the best show on the East Coast. Our thanks also to Armorlight Pipes, Exhaust, Alpine Audio, Power Tank, and Tyri Lighting for their partnerships with the show and keeping us rolling. Until then, I'll catch you next time. Here's a big Jeep wave to you, everybody. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us on this Tuesday night, and I'll see you again next Monday. You guys are the best and make the show. You're just awesome. No, Jamie, you can't win tickets. You already have a pocket full of tickets. But keep sharing the good word, and I'll see if I can raffle something off for you, something special. Good to see you, Justin. Everybody, I can't wait to see you again, and I'm out of here.